Okay, welcome back. Let's begin from the subordinate courts in India where we left. The subordinate courts at the level of district and lower levels have almost similar structure all over the country with slight variation. Means in every state the basic structure is same. According to population or other factors there may be slight variation. Majorly it is same. Okay. They deal with civil and criminal cases in accordance with their jurisdiction, because we have civil courts for civil matters and criminal court for criminal matters. That means their jurisdiction is decided, beyond which they cannot decide a matter, beyond which a suit even can't be filed in their courts. Okay, if it is a civil court, only civil matters. At the lowest stage, two branches of judicial system, civil and criminal, are bifurcated. लोएस्ट स्टेज में बाइफर्केशन है, लेकिन जैसे हम ऊपर जा रहे हैं, बी एट हाई कोर्ट बी एट सुप्रीम कोर्ट, वहाँ पर ये बाइफर्केशन ब्लर हो जा रही है. इट कैन डील विद ऑल काइंड्स ऑफ मैटर्स. ओके. मुंसिफ कोर्ट्स आर द लोएस्ट सिविल कोर्ट्स. अबव द मुंसिफ्स आर सबऑर्डिनेट कोर्ट्स. District judge hears first appeals from decisions of subordinate judges and also from the munsifs unless they are transferred to a subordinate judge and he possesses unlimited original jurisdiction, both civil and criminal. So सबसे पहली बात, munsif are the lowest civil courts. Above munsifs are subordinate judges. District judge hears first appeals from decision of subordinate judge. That means what will be the structure? Munsif court, I'm drawing a little below. Munsif court, okay, subordinate judges, and then we have district judge. From this and from this, appeal can be filed to the district judge, and that is the first appeal. First time it is filed, so it is the first appeal. Fine. And since we are talking about first appeal, so it has not to be transferred to the subordinate judge. If from the munsif court it was appealed or transferred as the order of district judge to the subordinate court or to the subordinate judge, then it will not be the first appeal that will go to district judge, because now it has been gone to this court. फर्स्ट अपील में इसके पास डायरेक्ट आनी चाहिए थी. ठीक है. सो फर्स्ट अपील का मतलब है ईदर यू आर डूइंग दिस और दिस, राइट, एज आई ड्रू अर्लियर, एंड दिस कोर्ट हैज़ बोथ सिविल एंड क्रिमिनल जुरिस्डिक्शन. एज आई टोल्ड यू, लोअर लेवल्स पे बाइफर्केशन होता है ताकि एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ जस्टिस ईजिली हो सके. ठीक है, ज़्यादा ऑप्शंस अवेलेबल हो. लेकिन जैसे हम ऊपर जाते जाते हैं, बर्डन ऑफ वर्क इंक्रीजेस, है ना. हाई ऑफिशियल्स पे बर्डन ऑफ वर्क ज़्यादा होता है, राइट. सो जुरिस्डिक्शन दोनों हो जाती हैं. डिस्ट्रिक्ट एंड सेशंस जज इज़ द हाईएस्ट जुडिशियल अथॉरिटी इन द डिस्ट्रिक्ट सिंस एनैक्टमेंट ऑफ CPC. क्रिमिनल ट्रायल्स आर कंडक्टेड एक्सक्लूसिवली बाय जुडिशियल मजिस्ट्रेट्स, जिसको शॉर्ट में JM बोलते हैं. मेट्रोपॉलिटन एरियाज देयर आर मेट्रोपॉलिटन मजिस्ट्रेट्स, जिसको MM बोला जाता है शॉर्ट में. ठीक. चीफ जुडिशियल मजिस्ट्रेट इज CJM, हेड ऑफ द क्रिमिनल कोर्ट्स इन अ डिस्ट्रिक्ट. सो डिस्ट्रिक्ट जज इज फॉर सिविल मैटर्स द हाईएस्ट जुडिशियल अथॉरिटी, and sessions judge is for criminal matters in the district. ये hierarchy आपको याद करनी है. ठीक. It may be a little confusing, you may draw graphs or whatever, but you have to learn it. Okay, now exclusive trial of criminal cases का मतलब क्या है? Over here. The first court where a criminal case will go for trial, जहाँ पर समन होगा क्रिमिनल का, अक्यूज्ड का या विक्टिम का, ओके, दैट इज़ द कोर्ट ऑफ जुडिशियल मजिस्ट्रेट. From judicial magistrate, it may go up to Chief Judicial Magistrate. Over it, Assistant Sessions Judge. Over it, Sessions Judge. So this is the hierarchy. Okay, and in this also there are two: Judicial Magistrate first class, Judicial Magistrate second class. Okay, this is the whole hierarchy system of criminal courts. Exclusively trial का मतलब है पहला कोर्ट जहाँ पर क्रिमिनल केस फाइल हो रहा हो, जहाँ एविडेंसेस ऑन रिकॉर्ड आएंगे, विटनेसेस प्रोड्यूस किए जाएंगे और अक्यूज्ड को समन किया जाएगा. दैट इज़ एक्सक्लूसिवली वहाँ पर सबसे पहला काम हो रहा है. ठीक है, एक्सक्लूसिव मीन्स टू द एक्सक्लूजन ऑफ ऑल अदर्स. फाइन. Now I will go to appointment of subordinate court judges. Subordinate judiciary in each district is headed by district or sessions judge. Usual designations on civil side are district judge, additional district judge and civil judge. Criminal side, sessions judge, which I have told you just now. Governor in consultation with High Court of that particular state appoints the district judges. A person who is not already in government service should have at least 7 years of experience at bar to become eligible for the position of a district judge. Article 233. Please remember, please learn these articles. There is no other way out. You have to learn. Not already in government service means he may not take dual benefit of the office. At least 7 years of experience at bar. Bar means advocacy, of being an advocate, of a lawyer, to become eligible for the position of district judge. These are the eligibility criteria. Appointment of persons other than district judge of a state shall be made by governor in accordance with rules made thereunder. Besides State Public Service Commission, High Court has to be consulted in the matter of such appointments. Article 234. So, governor in consultation with High Court appoints the district judges and persons other than district judges like state law officer or other persons in a court. और भी बहुत सारे offices और post होती हैं. So, they have to be made according to the rules made in that particular state or the State Public Service Commission. So, State Public Service Commission, High Court has to be consulted in appointment of persons other than district judges. For appointment of district judges, only the consultation of High Court is mandatory. Fine. Article 233 and 234. Civil process and functioning of civil courts. Now, civil courts mean which have the jurisdiction to deal with civil matters. And what are the civil matters? Matter concerning transfer of property, matter concerning contracts, okay, matter concerning sale of movable goods, matter concerning marriage, divorce, adoption. All these are civil matters, etc. Fine. Adoption means of a child. Okay, at what age, what are the eligibility criteria of parents, what should be the ideal age gap, like nothing is ideal, but what should be the age gap between the child and the parent, single person can adopt or not, couple can adopt or not, surrogacy and all which have been now abolished, that are all civil matters. Transfer of Property Act, TPA, deals with the transfer of ownership of immovable property. Please listen to me carefully. For immovable property, we have TPA. For movable property, we have SOGA, that is Sales of Goods Act. Okay. And Indian Contract Act is for contracts. If there is any violation, like I promised to deliver you 10 kg of wheat, but I have not done it till the due date that I had told you. So you can sue me for breach of the promise, of a breach of contract to say. That is a civil matter. Marriage related or divorce related can be read simultaneously, which means that there has been a child marriage which you know is voidable. So how to dissolve that? Okay. Or there may be a case where photo of person A was shown, but the marriage was conducted with person B. So that means fraud was done with the other party. दिखाया किसी और को, कर दी शादी किसी और से, fraud ही तो हुआ ना. So that all matters can be dealt with in this. These are all civil matters. So how the functioning of civil courts is conducted, that is given in this heading. Code of Civil Procedure, that is CPC, is a procedural law. From the word itself you can see procedure code, right? So what will be the procedure? What is the meaning of procedure? The process, how the things will be carried out. ICA, TPA, what all I had written just a few minutes before, those are acts which show that how the transfer will be taken place, कैसे contract बनेगा, कैसे property transfer होगी, ये वो बताता है. But if there is a violation or there is a wrongful act which is conducted on those practices, like I told you the example of fraud, तो फिर वो मैटर कोर्ट में जब जाएगा तो कोर्ट उसको कैसे डील करेगा, what will be the evidences that will be considered admissible, what will be considered to be a violation of promise, okay, that all is considered in CPC, that all is given in CPC. कैसे विटनेस को बुलाया जाएगा, कैसे पार्टीज़ सूट फाइल करेंगी, कितनी पार्टीज़ होंगी, अगर 2-3 पार्टीज़ हैं तो क्या वो एक साथ फाइल कर सकती हैं या नहीं, एक ही केस में फाइल कर सकती हैं या नहीं, दैट ऑल इज़ गिवन इन CPC. फाइन. CPC ज़्यादा तो नहीं बता सकती अभी, बट अ जिस्ट ऑफ इट इज़ this only. It's a procedural law, okay, that means it only gives you the procedure of the things which are mentioned in those other substantive laws. TPA, ICA, etc., all these are substantive laws. I hope it's little visible. Substantive laws these are, TPA, ICA, which I have written, okay. एंड दिस इज़ अ प्रोसीजरल लॉ. ये प्रोसीजरल लॉ इन सब्सटैंटिव लॉज को कैसे हमें इम्प्लीमेंट करना है या उसके बेसिस पर कैसे केस फाइल हो सकता है, पार्टीज़ का राइट क्या है, कोर्ट की पावर क्या है, ठीक है, जुरिस्डिक्शन क्या होगा कोर्ट का, पेक्यूनरी और सब्जेक्ट मैटर, दैट ऑल इज़ गिवन इन CPC. एंड दीज सब्सटैंटिव लॉ क्रिएट राइट and they may also take away your right. It creates or takes away the right, but this procedural law does not create or take away any right. It only lays down the procedure which is to be followed by the civil courts for administration of justice or for the functioning of those courts, okay. Civil case is what? Which is not criminal in nature. I have given you few examples for that. Property, business, personal domestic problem, divorces, where one's constitutional or personal rights are breached. In brief, CPC lays down the procedure of filing a civil case, powers of court fees, stamps involved in filing a case, rights of parties to a case. Now, who are the parties to the case? Plaintiff and defendant. Plaintiff, I have told you the meaning earlier also, who has filed the complaint, and who is the victim, okay, or who is the affected party, that is plaintiff. Defendant means who defends himself against the complaint which is filed by the plaintiff. Jurisdiction, parameters of civil courts, specific rules for proceedings, appeal, review, reference. Appeal, you know, I am not convinced with the decision of a particular court, so I will go to the higher court which is competent. That is known as appeal. Review means in the same court, in the same judge, under the same judge, we take the matter again कि आप इसको reconsider करिए. View का मतलब देखना, re का मतलब again, so you have to view it again. तो गलती से आपसे कोई चीज़ छूट गई हो या there have been some fallibility, some mistake, so you can correct it in the next time you view it. That's why even it is said to revise the answers that you have written in your answer sheets, right? So that is review. Reference means to refer the case to a higher court. This all you will study more when you will do CPC in length. I have only given you a gist. First Uniform Code of Civil Procedure was enacted in 1859. Then present one is enacted in 1908. Object of code is, as I told you, main purpose of interpretation or to understand the meaning of any act is to know the object or purpose for which it was formulated by the legislature, right? So the main object of code is to consolidate, means to combine and amend the laws relating to procedure of civil judicature. CPC is designed to further the ends of justice and not a penal enactment. It does not anyway specifies कि if you have done this act you will be given this punishment or this much fine. So it is not a penal law. Penal law is which prescribes penalties or punishments for the acts, for the wrongful acts. This is not a penal act. It only gives the procedure. As the name itself suggests, civil procedure. So the procedure of civil courts in how they have to act, what are their powers, how the parties will file the suit, what all the procedure is there to file the suit, affidavit, duplicate, stamp, fees, all that things. Okay. CPC can be divided into two parts. Main body containing 158 sections. Remember this. And first schedule, which contains 59 orders and rules. So basically there are 51 orders, and in those 51 orders there are number of rules. How many rules may be there in a particular order? There is no uniform or particular criteria for that. In one order you may find 2 rules, in other you may find 50 rules, 20 rules, 100 rules. So there is no uniformity. Okay. So 51 orders का नंबर है, rules बहुत सारे हैं depending upon each order. Okay. Sections deal with matters of substantive nature, laying down general principles of jurisdiction, while first schedule relates to procedure and method, manner, mode in which jurisdiction may be exercised. So sections lay down the general principles of jurisdiction and how that has to be exercised, what will be the method, what will be the procedure for that is given in those orders and rules. Okay. And some sections and orders and rules also overlap, means they have the same content, almost same content. Body of CPC containing sections is fundamental and cannot be amended except by legislature, means judiciary cannot amend it. Okay. And first schedule can be amended by high courts. CPC has no retrospective operation, means it does not apply from the back. जिस डेट पे इम्प्लीमेंट हुआ है उसके आगे वाली उस डेट एंड उसकी आगे वाली डेट्स पे अप्लाई होगा, पास्ट पे अप्लाई नहीं होगा. फाइन. सिविल कोर्ट स्ट्रक्चर. Disputes relating to property, breach of contract, wrongs committed in money transactions, minor omissions are categorized as civil wrongs and subject to a civil process. In such cases, civil suits should be instituted by the aggrieved. Aggrieved means who is the victim or who is affected, who is wronged. Okay. Courts of law administer justice by considering the nature of wrong done. So how will they administer justice? Administer justice का मतलब to give you the relief, to level the position in which you were earlier, right? Civil wrongs are redressed before civil courts by granting injunctions or payment of damages or compensation. Injunction means to stop wherever the situation is, to stop at that point. Okay. एंड डैमेजेस और कॉम्पनसेशन तो आपको पता ही होगा. अगर मेरी गाड़ी का लॉस हुआ है, सो यू हैव टू पे मी डैमेजेस इन प्रपोर्शन टू द लॉस विच इज़ कॉस्ट. ओके. एंड इंजंक्शन मीन्स टू स्टॉप. बेसिकली इतना ही अभी आप पता करो. लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल, देयर मे बी अ डिस्प्यूट बिटवीन अ लैंडलॉर्ड एंड अ टेनेंट हु एक्चुअली रन्स अ शॉप ऑन दैट tenancy premises. Okay. Now A is asking B to vacate within 15 days. B is very punctual in paying his rent and everything. His behavior is also nice. Like, he is not somebody who will cause abrupts or ruckus or disturbance in the public domain. He is very peaceful citizen. Okay. And he pays the rent on time also. On one side, A is saying that you pay me the rent in 15 days. On the other side, when he gives the rent of the future month which is yet to come, he accepts the rent. Now what is this? Contradiction, right? Another thing, in 15 days basically the person cannot arrange a new shop for himself, and he is citing the same reason to A, that give me some more time to find a shop at a suitable place so that I can shift. my belongings from here, right? And can set up the business over there. But A is not agreeing. Despite that, he has accepted the rent for the next month. So this dispute can go to a court, and generally injunctions are not granted these days, but just an example, the court can direct that A will not cause any destruction to this property unless a decision is given by the court. Okay, so unless that judgment is passed by the court, no disturbance will be caused to this property by anybody, either A or B. आप इसको छुओगे नहीं, जैसी है उसको वैसा ही रहन दो. That is injunction, to stop where it is. Okay, so I will also stop over here, and we will continue in the next video. Thank you guys.